Litha, the summer solstice, arrives like a golden exhale at the height of the year. It is the longest day and the shortest night, when the sun hovers at its zenith before beginning its gradual descent into the darker half of the seasonal wheel. For those who follow the cycles of nature, Litha is not simply a date on the calendar, but a sacred moment of power and presence, a pause in the Earth's breath, a still point between ascension and decline. Rooted in ancient European traditions and still honored by modern pagans, Wiccans, and nature-based spiritual practitioners, Litha is both a fire festival and a celebration of fullness. The world now in bloom overflows with color and life. Trees are heavy with leaves, gardens are abundant with herbs and vegetables, and bees dance among wildflowers. Everything in the natural world seems to pulse with energy. The earth is alive, ripe, and utterly unapologetic in its vitality. Spiritually, Litha is a time of radiance and revelation. The sun, symbolic of strength, truth, and clarity, reaches the peak of its journey across the sky. Its light illuminates what has been hidden, burns away stagnation, and infuses our intentions with momentum. But there is also a humbling message embedded in this turning point. As bright as the sun may be, it cannot remain at its height forever. From this day forward, the light begins to wane, and night begins its slow return. Litha reminds us that all growth contains the seed of decline, and all joy is tempered by change. It is a celebration, but with awareness, reverence, and a deep respect for life's impermanence. Traditional Litha rituals reflect this interplay between light and shadow, passion and perspective. In many cultures, bonfires are central to solstice gatherings. Flames are lit on hillsides and beaches, in forests and backyards, as a symbolic reflection of the sun's fire. People leap over the embers in acts of courage and purification, or toss into the flames written fears and old burdens, trusting the fire to cleanse and transform. These rituals are not just theatrical. They're ancient, intuitive acts that connect humans to the elemental forces of nature. Some rise before dawn to witness the solstice sunrise, either alone in quiet reflection or among others at sacred sites like Stonehenge or Newgrange, where the sun aligns with ancient stones in a cosmic choreography. Others create simple altars adorned with flowers, herbs, and sun symbols. Offerings of honey, milk, or wine may be left for spirits of the land, or simply placed as acts of gratitude. The practice of weaving flower crowns and garlands is another widespread tradition, tying wearers to the earth's fertility and the playful, mischievous energy that folklore often associates with the fae and spirits of midsummer. Litha has long been considered a favorable time for love, union, and commitment. In many pagan communities, hand fastings, or spiritual weddings, take place during the solstice. With the sun as witness, couples pledge themselves not only to each other, but to the cycle of life, promising to grow and change together, just as the seasons do. Just as the rituals are rooted in the earth, so too is the food. The Litha table is a feast of seasonal bounty. Gardens and markets offer fresh produce that needs little to shine. Berries, cherries, and stone fruits, warm from the sun, speak of sweetness and sensuality. Herbs such as basil, mint, and lavender are gathered and dried, or mixed into teas and tinctures. Meals are often cooked over open flame, not only for practicality, but as a symbolic continuation of the fire ritual. There's something powerful in grilling vegetables, or baking flatbreads over hot coals, the act itself becoming part of the celebration. Honey is a sacred ingredient this time of year, representing both the sun's golden rays and the tireless work of bees. It sweetens cakes and drinks, especially mead, a fermented honey wine that links us to ancient rites of joy and intoxication. Round loaves of bread, sun-shaped cookies, and golden pies are baked in honor of the sun, decorated with symbols of light and radiance. But perhaps more than anything, Litha is about presence. It's about recognizing that we are living in a rare moment, the peak of light, the summit of the year. It is easy to rush past it, chasing productivity or distracted by noise. But Litha calls for us to stop, to feel the warmth on our skin, to listen to birdsong and rustling leaves, to be fully here, even if just for a day. It asks us to celebrate not just externally, but inwardly, to take stock of our growth, to acknowledge the seeds we've planted, whether literal or emotional, and to feel gratitude for what has bloomed. Even as the light begins its slow retreat, Litha leaves us with a gift, the understanding that joy and loss, growth and decay, power and vulnerability are not opposites, but partners in the same dance. The sun teaches us to shine while we can, to burn bright, to give light freely, and to honor the inevitable dimming, not as failure, but as transformation. In that spirit, celebrating Litha can be grand or simple, public or private. What matters is intention. A single candle lit at sunset, a meal made with care, a walk through a sunlit meadow. Each is a ritual. Each is enough. Because at its heart, Litha is a reminder that we are part of this living, breathing earth, that we too are made of light and fire and change.